Since database update of February 2022, we have implemented ELVIAL roller shutter systems. In this video, we are going to show you how to insert such roller shutter in a window typology. First step is to build the position as usual. At this point, in order to insert a roller shutter on top or outside our window, we need to click on Selection Roller Shutter. A new window will pop up, and here you can find the various selections in order to build our roller shutter. First selection is the type of it: top mounted or external mounted. We will show you the top mounted, but both work on the exact same way. Then, we shall build the shield. Here our selection should be the individual parts. After we select the desired blade, we shall do the same with the bottom terminal one. Note that only the compatible bottom blades appears. Then, the end piece of the bottom blade, the stopper. We commonly use the attached stopper, unless the selected bottom blade can't have one. Again, the selections that appears are only the valid ones. The color selection here refers to the bottom blade, and after that we shall select again the color for the rest of the shield. The reason, as we will see later, is that in some cases the blades can't be painted on the same color with the bottom blade. After finishing with the shield, it's time to select the housing. It's important to know that the boxes that we can select are directly linked with the shield configuration and dimensions. This means that we will never get a selection where our shield can't fit in. As for the handling, we only get the available hardware according both the housing and the shield weight. So, as we will see later, if we had a lighter shield, we would have also the selection of belt. The handling side, in our system, doesn't have any effect. Last selection is about the roller shutter guides. Here we can see all the available selections, since there is no link between the housing width and the guide or the window frame depth. This means that we shall pay extra attention on the appropriate selection of guides. As for the gap and the bottom extension, we will see how these affects our roller shutter later. At this point, we have finished with the roller shutter. The desired roller shutter will appear on top of our window. Note that the dimensions of the opening aren't affected by the roller shutter. This means that we always shall give the total height of the opening. Now, let's see how the gap affects the roller shutter dimensions. First of all, let's shorten it by 5 mm from each side. We will notice that the guides comes into the window frame, something that in the specific case is not okay, but this was not the point. Let's check the housing cutting length. We will explain in the end of the video what is happening with the colors of the housing caps. As we can see in the piece list, the cutting length of our housing is 1074 mm, and it is affected by the gap that we inserted. For the records, the cutting dimension is width minus 16 mm. So let's change this gap and make our roller shutter bigger by 5 mm from each side. The width now is 1094 mm. That is 10 mm bigger than the one without any gap change. Of course, it's needless to say that all parts of the roller shutter are affected by this change. At our next step of this video, we will show you how the bottom extension function works. With this function, we can extend our roller shutter below the window frame, because, for example, the window is installed at 1 meter above the finished floor, but we want to cover the wall below it as well. So by extending our roller shutter, we can see that both our guides has been extended as well as the amount of needed blades has been adjusted accordingly. It's important to know that since this is an extra function that affects the roller shutter after our selections, the software can't suggest about the housing and the handling. So user shall be extra cautious and using it, as we might end up with a shield that can't fit in our housing. Now let's shorten the window, and see how this will affect the housing and the handling selection. First of all, we see that more housing selections appears. Now the short ones are available. Then, the handling. Since our shield is smaller and lighter, the software recognize that the selection of belt can be valid as well. If we want to remove the roller shutter, the only thing we need to do is go inside the roller shutter window and click on button, Remove Roller Shutter. For the end, we left the explanation for the colors of the housing caps. Those caps are considered as accessories that are painted on the housing color. There is no ERP code available for each possible color, and for that, user shall write the color code manually by selecting the option Special Color Order. Thank you for watching this tutorial video. For any question you might face, please don't hesitate to contact our support team via email or phone. It will be our pleasure to help you.